Hey there everybody, welcome back to Harman Art TV, and today we are in Curiosity Gallery, so welcome. So in this video I'd like to talk about my latest abstract painting, which is this one called Renaissance, and it's something that I just recently finished, and so I thought it'd be just interesting to talk a little bit more about why I created it and the meaning behind it, the inspiration behind it, and what I would like people to hopefully take away from it when they look at it. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So I think first of all I'll just read off the description that I created when I finished this artwork, and then you can find this also on my website. So basically this collage painting was created in response to the world around me during this pandemic, because during this time I was consumed by what was happening in the news, and everything was constantly changing, and things were just changing so quickly, and even to this day, even now, they're kind of still changing. And it also got me thinking about just the casualties of this virus, and then the politics surrounding this, and just how this kind of situation has just kind of, I suppose, divided people in some way. And it was, it's been difficult to keep up with the changes, and in some sense I can retell what the truth is, what is the truth, what is actually going on. And because there was just so many varying opinions, and I found that I had to use my own mind to research things for myself, and to this day I still am researching things, what is actually going on during this time, during this pandemic. So it just got me kind of researching these things. And I think this really got me thinking about the world I'm living in, and I kind of reassessed, why it is the way it is, and also got me thinking how, traditions in the past has kind of, created this kind of normalness, and during this time that's kind of been turned upside down. And I realised the more I learn about the world, the more my perception of the world changes, my point of view. And I think times kind of are chaotic, and I was thinking, I could be blind to what is happening, or I can keep learning and keep my mind open to new possibilities. Yeah, so that's why we have on this painting, that's why I have a newspaper in the background to represent like the current state of society. So the kind of chaotics of it all, the kind of madness of it all, the kind of constant change of it all, those so-called belief systems that we have that, kind of keep everything in the kind of so-called status quo. And then the ducks on top, they're meant to symbolize distracting the eye away from what's really going on. You can imagine, like, for me, the childhood toy was, it's a symbol of kind of playfulness and innocence, and I felt, what fitting way would be to put these ducks on top to kind of represent like a curtain that you're not supposed to see what's happening, so the ducks kind of represent that innocence. And then you got the paint and the circle on top, And that's meant to symbolise kind of crossing space and a kind of rebirth and a new way of seeing and experiencing. And so, it's really, painting is really quite, there's a lot of emotions in there. There's negative emotion. I like to think there's also positive emotion. And I realise that this time is really devastating. But it also got me thinking, during this time, will we enter a new and better world for everyone? So that's why I called this piece Renaissance, because I was researching, I was trying to find comparisons to this time frame that we're living in now to time frames in the past. And obviously in the past, I think it was in Europe, you had a re-emergence of thinking, re-emergence of a different way of living, and kind of all these new progresses, and I think it was technology, science came to the forefront, and that was out of the chaos where I think supposedly they had the plague and all these devastating events. So it's really strange, because looking at that time frame, we realise that out of this chaos came new awareness, new perception of the world, and new ways of living. So that's why I called this piece Renaissance with a question mark, because in some way I think, are we going through a renaissance? But at the same time, it's a kind of question mark, because even I don't fully understand. I don't know what's going to happen. So that's kind of like a summary of why I created this piece. So in conclusion, I think this is going to be one of my most detailed paintings that I've created to date. And because there's a lot of layers to it. And I think, during this time I've been really thinking a lot about belief. And so that's why you got this circle, because it's just all about belief, really. It's all about the belief people hold as values. And I think it's just meant to. This painting is just meant to reanalyze the kind of world I'm living in, and kind of question the so-called normality of things, and what is the future from now? Would you guys think the future from now is going to be? So yeah, that's a kind of that's a kind of brief kind of description of it, and but yeah, it's very hypnotic, I think, with like these layers, and then the space kind of pulling you in, and then these kind of gradient lines from dark to light, and I want it to look as though it's kind of pulling you into another dimension, into another space. That's a wrap for this video. I just thought I'd just talk about this piece and share with you, the finished result. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see a shift in the way people live their life, or in the values that people have? Do you think the world is going to change pretty dramatically compared to how it was? It'd be interesting to know your thoughts, because I think for me, naturally, during this time, been thinking a lot about those kind of questions. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know your thoughts on that. But yeah, if you've liked this video, feel free to like it. And you're also welcome to check out my Patreon account, and I have exclusive access to like content, and you can see like videos on there before it goes public, and you can get things like merchandise and all that kind of good stuff. And so yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, take care.